Hey, preppers and YouTube, welcome back. It's been a minute. I haven't been on YouTube for a while. Uh, some things going on in life. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Uh, I was going through my food storage the other day, about a week and a half ago, and I realized that my shelf-stable stuff was really short on proteins. Yeah, I got a lot of beans and stuff like that, but there's only not so much beans and rice you're ever going to want to eat. And canned tuna and spam, it's going to get tired after a while. I needed something else. So I was at the store one day, and I found this. See if I can get it closer to the camera. Meatballs and potatoes in gravy. Sounds pretty good. I can take this. I can heat it up, put it over some rice or some instant mashed potatoes or something like that. Well, it's got potatoes in it, so maybe not that, but throw it over some rice or whatever. Throw some veg in it and have a decent meal. So I bought 3 cans of this stuff. And I thought, before I go out and buy more, I better give it a taste test. And the can says, proudly made here in Canada. Well, Esta, I wouldn't be too proud of what you put out. That stuff, this is disgusting. First of all, the texture of the meatballs is kind of like somebody took a handful of canned dog food and squished it together and threw it in the can. The taste is bland. Oh my gosh, it was like nothing. And, I got no shortage of seasonings here. I can throw some salt, pepper, garlic powder, you name it, I've got it here. Throw it in, try and make it taste a little bit better, which is what I did after I tasted the first little meatball there. I was like, ugh, this stuff's nasty. Seasoned it up. I forced myself to eat the whole can, which was probably my first mistake. The rest of the day, I couldn't eat anything the rest of the day. My stomach was upside down. I was nauseous for the rest of the day. I had heartburn, combined with nausea. Just no. So I had bought 3 cans of this. I tried one, and trust me, 2 of them going straight to the food bank. Maybe somebody will enjoy it, or at least, tolerate it better than I did. That being said, I also had, what did I do? Yeah, you can see the dehydrator is out on the counter. You can see behind me there, the canner's obviously been used. So I really tried to step up some of my food storage. I had an event about a week ago, just a little over a week ago, where I was to bring the vegetable platters for the event. So I had carrot sticks and broccoli and cauliflower, some peppers, stuff like that, with a nice dip. I had a few trays of this stuff. The event turned out to be a bit of a flop. Nobody really showed up, so I had all this stuff to bring back home. Given that my freezer's kind of full, out came the dehydrator, cauliflower, and broccoli. This is almost 2 very large heads of cauliflower, dehydrated down. And I had 5 or 6, I think, heads of broccoli. And this is only one. I made 2 jars like this of broccoli after it was dehydrated. I tried it out. I rehydrated it. And yeah, it tastes like broccoli and cauliflower. Even you'll notice the color on the cauliflower isn't exactly white anymore. It doesn't have that snowball white color to it. It does come back pretty much when you rehydrate it. The broccoli here too, if you look close enough, you might see some of the stems look a little brownish and stuff. That all too disappears when you rehydrate it. It comes out. The texture is like cooked broccoli once you rehydrate it and let it absorb some hot water, boil it up for a few minutes. Actually pretty good. So we got that going. Another thing that was ticking me off was the price of potatoes. A 10-pound bag around here was going for $6-7 a bag for the longest time. So, keeping an eye on the sales flyers, I found potatoes at $2.88 a bag for a 10-pound bag. That was a score. So I bought 3 of them, and I home canned some potatoes. As you can see, yeah, I canned them with the skins on. These are russet potatoes, so they're just washed and pressure canned, just like that. Dice them up, put them in the canner, and away we go. What did I get? I got 12. I got 14 out of 20 pounds. I saved one of the 3 bags that I bought for fresh use, and I canned up 2 10-pound bags. So 20 pounds fit into 14 of these jars. That's a good start. As for the meat, well, again, looking through the flyers, I found ground beef on sale. It was $2.99 a pound or whatever, but that's a pretty good deal considering $6, $7, $8 a pound recently for ground beef. And I made a buttload of chili, huge pot of chili. After eating it for 2 days, I canned it up. Well, not after eating it for 2 days. We ate it for the supper the day that I made it. Went into the fridge, and the next day I canned it up. I saved some off to the side for lunch for the kids because the kids really liked it. So yeah, I got 5 jars of chili. This is like shelf stable, ready to go. It's not in the freezer. I don't have to thaw it. I just open it up, pour it on some mac and cheese or plain pasta, rice, whatever. Away you go. Awesomeness. The leftover ground beef, canned up just like that. It's about a pound in a pint jar, and whatever was left that I didn't throw into the chili out of the 2 big packs that I bought, I put into jars. So that really helped the protein food storage. That's going to be a big concentration for me in the next little while, is canning meat like this. I have 2 deep freezers. They're both full. I got no room to put anything else in there. And when the grid goes down, my freezers, I've got 2 months maybe. Running them on the generator once every day or 2 to get them refrozen. Run the generator for a couple hours, freeze everything up, and unplug it again. Cover it with blankets and keep things cold. Probably 2 months I can get through that. So I needed some more shelf-stable stuff, and that's what I'm going to be concentrating on in the near future. All of my jars are regular mouth jars. I have a few wide mouth jars. Right now they're being used with pickled beets because it's easier to get pickled beets into a wide mouth jar. I do have more on order, so they're coming in hopefully soon. I ordered them from Home Hardware. They're not the fastest. If I had to do it again, I'd go straight to Amazon probably. Get those shipped, but I have a dozen quart and a dozen pint wide mouth jars. And what I'd like to do is, actually I saw online, I think it was Bexar Prepper, was doing meatloaf directly into the wide mouth jars. And I thought that was a great idea because the wide mouth jars, when you can it, the meatloaf will shrink a little bit. It pops right out. Just dip it over. It'll pop right out. Slice it up. Throw it in a pan on an open fire or even on a grill on an open fire to heat it up a little bit. Get some char marks on it. Sounds pretty good. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on in the near future. As soon as I get those jars and some meat together, I will do another video like that. I think the whole point, really, of me doing this, there were kind of 2 things that I wanted to accomplish with this. Number 1 was to boost my food storage, because I know I'm going to be needing it soon. And another thing was to beat inflation down a little bit. Everything that I've canned up, I bought on sale, except for this stuff. The veg, the cauliflower, the broccoli. That was more of a waste not, want not type of thing. I didn't have room in my freezer, so out came the dehydrator, and we got that done. The rest of it is all stuff that was bought on sale and canned up for future use. So now when potatoes get back up to $6, $7 a bag, I have potatoes that I can take out of these cans, these jars, heat up. I can turn them into mash. I can just strain them out, put them in the oven, and make some nice roasted potatoes. My kids love those. Whatever I want to do, there it is. I don't have to say, well, I can't eat potatoes this week because I can't afford potatoes at the price that they are. So buy it on sale, can it up, dehydrate it up, do whatever you have to. But buying things on sale and not paying market price for things is going to save you a lot of money in the long run, especially if you have the jars, you have the equipment, go for it, get it done. And most preppers should have all that by now. The next big purchase I think I'm going to be looking at probably in the next few months is going to be a home freeze dryer. That's really got me excited. That I can freeze dry a lot more stuff than I can actually can or dehydrate even. And it'll last a whole lot longer. Pack that stuff up. Freeze dried stuff will last 25 years. Stuff like this will last a few years at least. I was explaining the canning process to my son the other day. He was watching me do it and he asked a few questions. Good for him. So I answered him. And he asked how long it would be good for on the shelf. My best answer to him was that I had recently fed them vegetables that had been in jars on the shelf for 7 or 8 years. And he was pretty impressed. He goes, well, we didn't get sick. We didn't even notice really that, no, you didn't notice anything because you cook it up, you take it out of the jar, you cook it up, heat it up, and it's just like any other vegetable. It might have come out of the freezer or even bought fresh. It was fine. They didn't even notice that it was something that had been canned 7 or 8 years ago. So the stuff was perfectly fine. Would I do that every day? Like, no, probably not. I try to rotate my food out. But this was a mix of vegetables that we don't eat very often. So I did have some left from quite a while ago. Decided to get them used up, gave them to the kids. I ate it myself. And there was absolutely no issue with it whatsoever. So I can safely say that home canned vegetables, when done properly in the pressure canner, 7, 8 years, I'll tell you this, no problems whatsoever. Anyway, we will be back with some more stuff very soon. I'm stocking up on some archery equipment, which I'm anxious to show you guys once it all comes in. The stuff's been ordered. Extra bowstring, some new arrows, some new arrow tips. Those are kind of cool. Can't wait to show those to you guys. In the meantime, get to canning, get to dehydrating, and if you have a freeze dryer, get to freeze drying because you got to be prepared, Canada. It's a tough world out there.